All right, I'm gonna try it this way. We'll see how it goes. It says, a tank has been built to store our favorite Starbucks brewed coffee, and it can be drained by opening a valve. The height of coffee in the tank after the valve is opened is given by the formula below. H of T equals 2 times the quantity 1 minus T over 10 squared meters. Okay, so for part A, scroll. Says, if the valve is opened at 8 a.m., what time will it be empty? Explain how you arrived at your answer. Well, when it's empty, that means the height is 0. So we need to set that equation equal to 0 and solve for t and figure out how long it takes, and then we'll be able to figure out what time that will be. So I hope this lets me draw on it. Oh, cool. I want it to be blue. Looks good to me. Okay, so let's see. 0 equals 2 times 1 minus t over 10 quantity squared. Okay, well first off, I would need to divide by 2 to get rid of that 2 out front. But 0 divided by anything is 0. So that would be 0 equals 1 minus t over 10 quantity squared. Okay, to undo the square, we would have to square root it. Okay, and the square root of 0 is just 0, so we'd have 0 equals 1 minus t over 10. This should feel just like the FRQ from the review. All right, let's add t over 10 to both sides, so I will get, put it up here, t over 10 is equal to 1. Okay, and then we would need to multiply by 10 on both sides. So we'll get that t equals 10 hours. I don't know if you can see that color okay. Let me see how it looks. Oh yeah, you can see it. 10 hours. Okay, so it's gonna take 10 hours to do this. Okay, well the valve is opened at 8 a.m., so 10 hours later, well 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means at 6 p.m. it'll be empty. So we can say as our write-up, let me switch to a different color. Oh, I have it in teal. Okay, so for my write-up, I could say at t equals 10 hours after the valve is open.
I always get the same thing.
Oops. Is that the eraser?
That's writing.
Yeah, I just don't know how to erase.
No.
Lucas, move.
Why can't
Let's cross it. After the valve is opened.
It's so big.
The tank.
Tank?
Lucas, you gotta move your head. They're trying to watch. The tank will be empty at 6 p.m. That is when H of 10 equals 0 meters in that tank.
Can we go?
And that is part A.
For 8.
And there you can see it. At t equals 10 hours after the valve is opened, the tank will be empty at 6 p.m. That is when H of 10 equals 0. Lucas, move.
Tank.
He wants to teach you guys today. Can I back this up so you can see better? No, that's as good as I can get it. Okay. Next part, part B. So let me see if it'll let me scroll up and will it keep the writing there? Nope. How do I clear the writing?
Mommy, what was broken?
Let me pause while I figure that out so you guys don't have to watch me. Okay, I figured it out. Woohoo! All right, so at 11 p.m., the tank is full and the valve is left open until 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. How many meters of coffee have emptied from the tank by 1:30 a.m.? All right, well, first we need to figure out that time difference. Okay. So how many hours is that from 11 to 1:30 a.m.? So let's see. So 12, 1, and then 30 minutes. So 2.5 hours have elapsed. Okay, so that's the time we have. So we need to see, okay, how full is the tank when it is full, and how full will the tank be after 2.5 hours? And then we need to see the difference. So first of all, let me change colors. Let's find H of 0. So this means that the time is 0. So this is our starting time, so this means that the tank is full. Okay? Lucas, stop running. Gosh. Okay, where's my equation? So I have 2 times 1 minus 0 over 10 quantity squared. All right, well 0 divided by anything is 0, so that's wiped out. 1 minus 0 is still 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So when it's full, it's got 2 meters of coffee in there. Okay? All right, now let's figure out, well, how much will be in there after 2.5, so 2.5 hours. So 2 times 1 minus 2.5 over 10 quantity squared. And this is where I'm going to need a calculator. Let me go grab it real quick.
I just got it here.
I got it, honey. Lucas, get out of there. All right, so I'm going to type in my calculator. 1 minus, and I'm going to use parentheses, 2.5 divided by 10, close parentheses, hit equals. I get 0.75, but then I have to square it, so I'm going to square my answer, hit enter, and then I have to multiply by 2, so times 2, and I get 1.125. Okay, so now I need to find the difference in that, so that means I need to find the difference between a time of 0, so the starting, at, oops, not equals. I figured out that the eraser, oh shoot.
Wait, I can do it, Mommy.
Lucas, back away.
I'm on racer duty.
The eraser works, but the eraser on the pen doesn't work. H of 2.5. I don't want to select a comment, go away. Okay. Equals, well, we'll have 2 minus 1.125, and 2 minus 1.125 ends up being 0.875.
Yep.
So that means there's going to be 0.875 meters of coffee left in the tank at 1:30 a.m. So now we just need to write that up. So let me move this over so you guys can see me writing it up. I'm gonna put it over there. Okay, and I'll do it in a different color. Lucas, I need you to be quiet, please.
That's cool. You can change your color on there.
Yeah, I want a hot pink, but I can't. Maybe purple. We'll do purple. Okay. All right. Let me put my calculator down. So I'm gonna say at 1:30 a.m. there will be
21 donuts.
0.875 meters emptied from the tank. And that's the write-up for that one. All right. Kind of like writing on the board, so I'm gonna maybe do this more often. All right, so I figured this out. I'm gonna clear the ink, so I hope you guys have it down. If you don't have it down, press pause, write it down real quick. On to part C. What is the value of H prime of 2 using Correct unit measure, explain what this value represents in context of the problem. Okay, so for this one, you're gonna be using your graphing calculator, okay? So we need to find h prime of 2, which means in our calculator, we need to put the function in there, and then we need to put its derivative in there, and then we need to figure out, well, when x is 2, what's h prime of 2? What's the y value? Okay, so we're gonna use our calculator for that. So I'm going to switch over to my calculator, and I'm gonna put it in front of you guys so you guys can see. We'll see how this goes. But I need my paper so I can see what to type in. Okay, so here's my graphic calculator. Let me clear out what I have in there. So the function is h of t equals 2, oops, guys can't see, times parentheses, 1 minus, I'm gonna put x over 10 in parentheses, and then close parentheses, and then square it, because that's the function, okay? And then for y2, I need to hit math, 8, d dx of, I need alpha trace, y1. I love that I figured out how to do that because it makes life so much easier. Okay, and then we'll graph. Oh, I might need to change my window, but let's see. Okay, the blue is the original, the red is the derivative. Okay, now I need to calculate, what do we need? H prime of 2, so I need an x value of 2. So second calc, 1 for value, x equals 2, hit enter, and I get 1.28. Oh, but that's the blue, that's y1. I need the derivative function. There we go, that is that what I got on there? Yep, that's exactly what I got. Negative 0.32, can you see it? Okay, so be careful here. It's an easy mistake to just take that as our answer, but that is the original function. We need to scroll down to get to the derivative function. Okay, it's the slope function. All right, so negative 0.32. All right. Oh, let me make sure that you guys can see me. Okay, so h prime of 2 is negative 0.32. And remember, when we take a derivative, that's going to give us a rate. So this was in meters and hours. So this is negative 0.32 meters per hour. Okay? All right, so we have that, and now we need to do our write-up. We need to write out what this means. So make sure that you guys can see me over there, because I'm going to do my write-up on that end. I'm going to switch to a different color. Oh, I want to be able to find pink on here.
Today or tomorrow?
I guess I'll just use a red. Sorry guys, I'm playing. That's a pretty blue. I'll use this blue. Okay, so I can say h prime of 2 is the rate, because it is a rate, the coffee is being emptied. That's why it's a negative rate, because it's being drained, it's being emptied out of that tank. Being emptied at a time of 2 hours, at t equals 2 hours, after the valve is opened. Does it feel like you're in the classroom with this? After the valve is opened and it's in meters per hour. Okay. Actually, let's also mention what that rate is. Open in meters per hour. So instead of is open in meters per hour, we could say at a rate of. So instead of this, put at a rate of negative negative 0.32 meters per hour. Put that instead because I feel like that's more thorough. It also includes the rate that we found. So yeah, let's put that.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll make sure that you guys can see that okay. Yeah, you guys can see that good. All right, so now let's go on to the last part here in this FRQ. Is the coffee draining faster after 30 minutes or after 2 hours? Justify your answer. Okay, well, we know how fast the coffee is being drained at 2 hours. It's negative 0.32 meters per hour. That was what we found in part C. What we don't know is how fast the coffee will drain in 30 minutes. Okay, well, we do need to understand that 30 minutes is equivalent to half an hour. Because remember, the time is in hours, so we need to make sure that our units are the same. Okay, so we need to use a half, so 0.5 as a decimal. Okay, so we're pretty much doing the same thing that we did. We're going to need our calculators again. So we're finding h prime of 0.5, and we're going to see what that is. Okay, so pull up my calculator. Everything should still be there.
It is.
And it is. So now you need to hit second calc value, and this time half an hour, so 0.5. And see how it always does y1 first. I need to get to y2 because that's the derivative, and it's negative 0.38. This is actually not a wavy equal sign. It's exactly negative 0.38 meters per hour. Okay. Now the negative has to do with the fact that the coffee is being drained. It's not being filled up, it's being drained out of there. So that's what the negative means. So we're not going to look at number line, with these are rates. This is different. It means a different thing. So we're looking for the bigger number, ignoring the negative. So this one is the faster rate. But doesn't it make sense for it to be emptied quicker when it's fuller, like right at the beginning, rather than at the end? Because if you're draining something like, say, an air mattress, you're draining it full of air, it's easier to push all that air out from the beginning, and it's a lot slower when you have a little bit of air left in that air mattress, if you know what I mean. So it's going to slow down the more time that has passed. Okay, so it makes sense that it would be quicker if it's only been 30 minutes versus 2 hours. All right, so we know that this is the quicker rate. So now we need to do our write-up for this. So let me switch. I think I will do red this time. Okay, and I think I can fit it down here. I'm going to say coffee is draining. I don't know why it's hard for me to get the I's in there. Coffee is draining faster after, I think it can't keep up with how fast I'm writing. It's draining faster after 30 minutes since h prime of 0.5 is greater than h prime of 2. And that's our FRQ. Can you see that okay? Yeah, you guys can. Cool, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little bit different. So you actually got to see me up at the board and like teach like we would be in class. So I hope that that was fun for you. It was kind of interesting and different for me.
It's not
So-
a whiteboard.
It's a smart board. Yeah, all right. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later.
Can I erase?
Yes.